What's going on, y'all? It's G from Freehypeshop. I'm here. Today we're going to do a Q&A. We got some questions lined up. We're going to answer some questions that the customers got. And yeah, I'm going to let y'all know.
How did you get into reselling?
Well, the way how I got into reselling originally was I was honestly just trading sneakers and just selling them to buy more sneakers. And I would say around the time I was 17 years old, I had a lot of shoes on my watch list on eBay, probably like 200 pairs, and most of them weren't even my size. I would just go and find the best steals on eBay. And one day it clicked that I should just go and start buying those, cleaning them up and flipping them. And I bought like 2 pairs of J's for 50 bucks a pop, so $100 invested, and I flipped them in 2 weeks for $100 a pop, so I got $200. And yeah, quickly I realized like, I could start buying this shit to resell it. But originally I was doing it just to stock up on more stuff for me. Cause you know what I'm saying, that's how you get fly.
What was the first pair of shoes you got? Whether you bought them or your parents bought them, you was like, damn, these is heat.
The first pair of shoes I got that was heat. Well, I will say growing up, no offense to my parents, but I probably didn't get any like heat that my parents bought. The first pair of shoes that I really felt like was dope was, I remember I bought some Grape 5s off my friend Dame, R.I.P. But yeah, I remember I sold some Jordan 8s that I had. They was cool. They wasn't like nothing crazy. And I was really hyped to have the Grape 5s because I had wanted those for a long time. And that's actually like a dope shoe.
How many pair of shoes did you say you own?
How many shoes do I own? It fluctuates a lot being a store owner, and being a store owner that got robbed and had a lot of issues this year. My shoe collection has fluctuated a lot, but I'd say at one point this year I probably had about 100 sneakers just in my personal collection. Right now at this moment, I probably own about 500 plus shoes, probably more or less actually, because I've been selling a lot since we've been closed. But my personal collection, I probably got about 60, 70 pairs strong. A lot of them I just don't wear, I just have, just to have them.
Who's one of your favorite fashion icons?
My favorite fashion icon, I really don't care if people are wearing this shit. I don't really look up to nobody for like inspiration of what I'm gonna wear. So I don't really care. I mean, it's kind of dope to see what people are wearing and what people got going on, but I'm not really sitting around looking at what the next man got on to influence what I'm gonna wear.
Favorite shoe of all time?
My favorite shoe of all time, I probably have to say Oreo 6s, because when I got into sneakers, that's a shoe I couldn't get. I always have a fresh pair in my collection. I think even if I had no sneakers, I'd always keep a fresh pair. And then the 2007 Alpha 1s, I got a sketch of Jordan Duncan. I always liked those because my brother had them when I was a little kid. And once again, I just thought they were dope. I was probably about 7 years old. And then when I was like 18 or 19, I finally found a pair. We're gonna have to pop them up for reference because no one knows what they are.
Your favorite Jordan?
My favorite Jordan? I had a friend, Jordan Smith. He was cool as fuck, dude. Like he was a badass friend, dude. My favorite Jordan number to wear currently would probably be like 4s, just cause it's really versatile, just a shoe you can wear. I like low top sneakers over high top sneakers. I always like the 6s though, cause the Oreos, I fuck with a lot of the 6 colorways. But when it comes to Jordans, I wear a lot of like 1s, 3s, 4s, and maybe 11s, but that's about it. But I have a lot of them. I got pretty much all the retro numbers in the collection.
Favorite Yeezy?
My favorite Yeezy, I like the analogs, probably just the all white 700. Once again, I always have a fresh pair. I think I have 4 pairs right now. I have a beater pair, a smoked pair, a worn pair, and I have a dead stock pair.
Favorite Adidas?
Man, come on, switch it up, man. Ask a different question.
I can switch it.
You said favorite Adidas, like Yeezy?
How did you start Freehypeshop?
How did I start Freehypeshop? So Freehypeshop originally started on Instagram. started the Free Hype Shop Instagram page probably back in like 2015 or 16. It was late 2015 if it was, probably December. But originally it wasn't Free Hype Shop, and Free Hype Shop actually didn't come around until like 2017, and I mainly just was playing around with the name. Originally it got to like Free Hype Supply. I didn't like that, and a buddy of mine had said Free Hype Shop. I liked how that sounded, so a couple weeks later I made that my Instagram name. And long story short, I'd say about a year and a half later, I had enough money and enough inventory built up that I hopped on a space. It was a very small space, and now I've built my way up to being one of the biggest resellers in the city. Took some time, but I got there. Don't give up.
Where did the name Free Hype Shop originally come from?
A good way to probably explain the way how Free Hype Shop's name came along was I had a clothing brand called The Free Clothing. The Free Clothing, the whole aesthetic behind that was that we kind of did what we want. It was basically just to live life how you want to, not to be held down to a standard of how you were born or what you grew up in, wherever you're, whatever your race, ethnicity, background, wherever you come from, man. The whole aesthetic was just to do what you want and to be whoever you want in life. But basically, whenever I started reselling, I didn't have a name for my resale page, but I had a clothing brand and was living this aesthetic of living freely. So long story short, eventually Free Hype Shop came around because I run a hype shop and I do it however I want. So I'm doing it pretty freely. I'm not really held down to a standard of how somebody else would want me to do it.
When/will you ever reopen back in Louisville?
We are actually currently working on that. Just a reminder for right now, we are closed due to a crazy year. We got robbed back in May. We were dealing with credit card frauds. Don't scam kids, that's not cool. We had some traumatic events go down. So long story short, we decided to close the location down. We're actually working on dealing with our landlord right now. We're checking out other locations. We're gonna work on some pop-ups, and then in all honesty, we're probably gonna try to relocate and or just reopen in 2021. So just stay up to date with us, man. Free Hype Shop is 90% gonna reopen next year here in Louisville, and there's a 100% chance we're definitely gonna reopen our store, and we're gonna open up new locations all over the country.
Your biggest shoe flip or clothes flip or bulk deal, what was the biggest deal you ever done?
The best flip I have in terms of buying a shoe and selling it, honestly, it really ranges, because at the store we get a lot of good deals, and there is some times where you could say like I've definitely bought a shoe for like as cheap as maybe like $50 to $100 and sold it for $300 or $400. So you could say like, percentage wise that might be the biggest flip. I think profit wise, I know I've definitely bought, I always say this, but I bought some Travis's, the ones for like $850. I StockX'd them for $1,700, and I got like a payout of $1,550 or $1,600 I think. So I made about like $700-800 profit on that. But I will say on some Bape, I've definitely bought a lot of Bape, maybe like 5, 6, 7, 8 grand in Bape, and then sold it all. V-Loan too, I've definitely bought like 5, maybe even like up to 10 grand in V-Loan, and then sold all of it in a week and made a couple $1,000s profit.
What is the most expensive shoe you've ever bought?
The most expensive shoe I've ever bought was a pair of Cause 4s, the gray pair. I bought a dead stock, size 10.5, Jordan 4, the Cause, and I paid $1,900, brand new. The most expensive shoe I ever bought for myself was a pair of off-white Forces, the first ones. Paid $1,000 flat.
What's the most money someone's ever spent in the store?
The most money someone's ever spent here at Free Hype Shop that I can remember, in all honesty, would probably be around $3,000 at one time. We've actually had several people do that now, so it's kind of hard to pick one person. Okay, I've had several people come in and spend about $3,000. I think the most money we ever made in one day was about $12,000. So,
what's the first shoe you ever bought that you didn't know too much about on legit checking, and then once you bought them, you found out they were fake?
In the store, no lie, I remember when I very first opened up, I had been open for about 2 months, and I bought, I don't even know if I'd been open 2 months, I'd probably been open for like 6 weeks. Someone brought in some off-white Prestos, and I honestly did not know nothing about off-white Prestos, and for a lot of sneaker store owners, they might be able to relate to this. I had never seen a pair. They had just came out, so there wasn't too many in the city. So in all honesty, at the time, there wasn't really, I didn't really have a way to know how to begin to legit check them. And I was just a beginner store owner, so it was kind of, in the beginning doing buyouts is different. You're not sure how to really deal with people, how to gauge their products, where they get them from, if they're authentic. So yeah, I definitely fumbled the bag. But hey, long story short, made it right. Always make it right with people.
If you had any words for inspiration to these kids doing reselling right now, what advice would you give them without giving away your actual sauce?
If I had any words of inspiration to the young homies reselling, I would tell them to not give up, man, because a lot of the young homies who watch me, that watch Freehypeshop, they've seen what I've been through this year, they've seen all the adversities that keep being thrown at me and keep being thrown at me and my team. And in all honesty, dude, if you don't give up, you're going to get somewhere, because people who give up never get there because they gave up, so you're just not going to get too far. Yeah, just, don't give up, and without giving away my sauce, man, son, if you want to make good money with reselling, just stay with the trends, man. You got to keep up, man. Shit changes. Like when I was first reselling, and there's a lot of shit I wasn't buying that I'm buying now. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know too much about. There's a lot of things I've picked up on how to buy, how to sell. I've learned how to project myself to people, how to get myself in higher positions to deal with higher customers. So
I bet my camera's better than Ben's. I'll say that right now on the camera.
that's gonna be the intro. All right, so my first question is, how did you start working at Freehypeshop?
I started working at Freehypeshop because my boy Garrett, it's a process. I'll say that. Basically, one day I remember him saying something about it, like, "Hey man, I'm trying to open up a shop." And in my head, I'm like, "All right, I can see him open up a shop." And then he finally did it, and I said I was gonna work there, but I lied because I was not working there like that. I fucking would come in sometimes because I had another job. But eventually, he moved to another spot. He moved right next door actually, and I started working a little bit more, pretty much. So it was just one of those things. I was supporting him pretty much. I was just one of the friends that was supporting.
Second question. Do you make good money working as a reseller at Freehypeshop?
I would like to say I make pretty damn good money working at the Freehypeshop as a reseller. If I didn't have the Freehypeshop platform to resell, I would say I probably wouldn't do as good. But there'd be times, there's weeks where I probably make $1,000 to $2,000 in 3, 4 days, 5 days. There'd be days I'll come back with some shit and put it in there, and it'll be gone the next day, and bam, I just made $200 and real quick, My normal job, like when I was working at this barbecue restaurant, I was making $100 for 6-hour shifts, and now I make $200 in depending on what day. If it's a Friday, Saturday, I make $200 in an hour, 2 hours.
What's your favorite streetwear brand?
My favorite streetwear brand, I'm probably gonna have to say, I like Bape. Quality's there. Really, really, really nice feeling clothes. When you put it on, you feel like, damn, this is something I'll pay good money for. It's warm. I'll tell you that. I don't know. I just like it. It's got good quality clothing. Not a lot of people have it, and if they do, it's because they got it from Freehypeshop.
What's the most money you ever spent on a garment of clothing or sneaker?
Oh yeah, the Off-White 4s. There you go. The Off-White 4 is probably the most expensive shoe I ever bought. I paid $900 for them, and then I sold them for $1,250. And then the Off-White Volts I bought for $650, and some kid traded me a pair of Belugas, 1.0, super clean, no heel drag. Boost was still immaculately white. I actually just sold them in the last vlog we posted up, and he gave me a pair of triple black Yeezys. So that was a good little steal for me. Actually, this wallet. I bought this wallet for $490. $490 I bought this wallet right here. Stupid investment. And the phone case. I bought a phone case for $380, and that was really stupid. But yeah, that was probably the most I've ever spent on something like this.
What's your favorite shoe?
My favorite shoe. My favorite shoe. I'm probably gonna have to go with. I don't know. It's a tough one. Cause like y'all see me stay rocking my favorite shoe or favorite shoes that I own.
Favorite shoe that you own?
Favorite shoe that I own. It's between my Royals that are smoked, but I like them because I can smoke them. My Wave Runners, my Yeezy slides. I probably just got to go ahead and say my Yeezy slides I wear the most. I wear those a lot. And then this, I used to wear these all the time. Probably one of my favorite shoes because it's just simple black Yeezy.
What is your favorite thing about working at a resale store or a free hype shop?
One of my favorite things is definitely interacting with the people, because you get a lot of connections through other people when you do this, because not everyone does this, and it's not everyone's built for this. But another thing I do like is just the amount of clothes that you can get, like just buying your stuff. You know, everyone in your city goes to the mall or Walmart or Myers, JCPenney, just any little retail store and buy clothes that everyone has. Not everyone's gonna have Babe, Supreme, Prada, fucking Balenci's, all that shit. So like people bring that stuff in here. It's pretty cool when you can buy it for a good price and then resell it and or keep it.
Go down below, like, follow, subscribe. Free Hype Shop, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Free Hype Shop LLC. Go down below, follow up with us, man. Keep supporting. Y'all are literally the only reason we can keep doing this, even while we're closed right now. We're still trying to keep the content rolling. We're still trying to keep people watching. So yeah, please stay up to date with us. Please keep watching. 2021, man. Free Hype Shop's coming back.